What are the fundamental forces that shape life and culture? Is it all about big, complex organisms, or is there something much smaller, something selfish that drives everything? Today, we are diving into the groundbreaking ideas of Richard Dawkins, the renowned evolutionary biologist and author of the influential book, The Selfish Gene, which was first published in 1976. It was republished in its 30th anniversary in 2006. It's one of my favorite books. So in this book, Dawkins proposed a radical shift in perspective, arguing that the true agents of evolution are not individuals or species, but tiny replicating units. He then extended this powerful concept beyond biology into the very fabric of human culture, giving a name to a new kind of replicator. So this replicator, he called it the meme. Yes, the meme. The meme is a word that was coined by Richard Dawkins, and today's video is in fact about that. So what is a meme? We'll explore what Dawkins means by gene first, a gene as the fundamental unit of natural selection, how the gene acts selfishly, and then introduce its cultural counterpart, the meme. We'll highlight their crucial differences, similarities, and finally humanity's unique capacity to transcend their inherent selfishness. Yeah, so this book is about what a gene is. A gene is selfish. How is it selfish? What it means for a gene to be selfish, and then the gene, which is a biological unit, has a cultural counterpart that he called the meme. I know the word meme is used nowadays in a particular sense, like certain memes are trending or not, but this is where the word meme came to be. So the gene is the original selfish replicator. Let's begin with the gene. For Dawkins, the core of evolution isn't about individual organisms surviving, but about what they carry. He argues that the fundamental unit of natural selection, and therefore of self-interest, is the gene. He explicitly states that this view is in substance orthodox, even if it is expressed in an unfamiliar way. So what exactly is a gene in this evolutionary context? According to G.C. Williams, gene is any portion of chromosomal material that potentially lasts for enough generations to serve as a unit of natural selection. So I want you to pay attention here. Gene as a unit of natural selection. This is key. It is a replicator with high copying fidelity. This isn't necessarily a single physical unit like a cistron, but rather a little bit of chromosome which potentially lasts for many generations and is small enough to last for a large number of generations and to be distributed around in the form of many copies. Unlike individuals, groups, or species, only small genetic units have the properties of existing in many copies and being capable of surviving in the form of copies for a significant evolutionary period. This brings us to the famous idea of the selfishness of genes. A gene is selfish because it's trying to get more numerous in the gene pool. It's trying to produce as many copies of itself as possible. The gene is the basic unit of selfishness. While this gene's selfishness will usually give rise to selfishness in individual behavior, Dawkins explains there are special circumstances in which a gene can achieve its own selfish goals best by fostering a limited form of altruism at the level of individual animals. For example, genes can promote the survival of copies of themselves residing in relatives, leading to what happens as altruistic behavior, leading to what appears as altruistic behavior. Genes are considered the primary policymakers. They design and build what Dawkins calls survival machines, our bodies, which are programmed in advance to navigate the world. Genes don't directly control every action, but rather act indirectly like the computer programmer. The core principle for genes is do whatever you think best to keep us alive. To clarify, Dawkins uses the terms replicator and vehicle. Genes are the replicators, the fundamental units that survive or fail to survive and form lineages of identical copies. Our bodies, individual organisms, are the vehicles. They don't replicate themselves. Their purpose is to work and propagate the replicators. When Dawkins refers to a gene for a certain behavior, he means that a change in the gene causes a change in the something, the behavior. Not that the gene alone builds it. Genes collaborate and interact in inextricably complex ways, both with each other and with their external environment. Genes aren't the only replicators influencing our world, especially when it comes to human culture. Dawkins argues that to truly understand modern human evolution, we must consider a new kind of replicator has recently emerged on this very planet in the soup of human culture. This concept allows Darwinism to be a much broader theory, not confined solely to biological genes. So what is a meme? Dawkins coined the term meme to be a unit of cultural transmission or a unit of imitation. He deliberately chose meme because it came from the Greek root meme or mimeme, meaning imitation, but sounded a bit like gene. Examples are all around us. Tunes, ideas, catchphrases, clothing fashions, ways of making pots or building arches. How do memes spread? They propagate by leaping from brain to brain via a process which can be called imitation. Dawkins dramatically suggests that when you plant a fertile meme in someone's mind, you literally parasitize my brain, turning it into a vehicle for the meme's propagation. Much like a virus parasitizes a host cell, memes are living structures, not just metaphorically, but technically. Much like a virus parasitizes a host cell, memes are living structures, not just metaphorically, but technically. Just like genes, memes have properties that contribute to their survival value in the meme pool: longevity, fecundity, and copying fidelity. For instance, the number of times a scientific idea is referenced in journals can be a measure of its survival value. Metaphorically, memes can also be selfish or ruthless. They compete fiercely for precious brain time and memory storage space, as well as for attention in media like radio, television, and newspapers. Memes don't just exist in isolation. They can form co-adapted meme complexes, stable sets of mutually assisting memes. An organized church with its architecture, rituals, laws, music, art, and written tradition is a co-adapted, stable set of mutually assisting memes. The meme for blind faith is particularly potent. It secures its own perpetuation by actively discouraging rational inquiry. Intriguingly, while genes and memes often reinforce each other, they can also come into opposition. A striking example is the meme for celibacy. A gene for celibacy would be evolutionarily doomed, but a meme for celibacy can be highly successful in the meme pool if it frees up individuals like priests to spend more time transmitting that meme. Now we come to part 3, which is meme versus gene, the human distinction. What are the key distinctions and interactions between these two types of replicators? Genes are biological units of heredity made of DNA. Propagate through biological reproduction, sperms, eggs. Their selfishness leads to the design of survival machines, our bodies. They evolve over millions of years, a relatively slow process. Now about memes. Memes are cultural units of transmission, concepts or patterns of information. Propagate through imitation and learning, leaping from brain to brain. Their selfishness leads to competition for attention and brain time. They evolve over millions of years, a relatively slow process. Now about memes. Memes are cultural units of transmission, concepts or patterns of information. Propagate through imitation and learning, leaping from brain to brain. Their selfishness leads to competition for attention and brain time. they evolve at a much faster rate, shaping human culture rapidly. Both genes and memes are unconscious blind replicators, meaning they have no foresight or conscious purpose. They simply replicate, and those that are good at it spread. This leads to Dawkins's most optimistic and profound point. While we are complex beings, built as gene machines and cultured as meme machines, humans possess a unique capacity, conscious foresight. This foresight gives us a remarkable power, the ability to rebel against the tyranny of selfish replicators. Dawkins points to contraception as a simple, everyday example of humans deliberately going against their genes' inherent desire to reproduce. He states that our brains are separate and independent enough from our genes to rebel against them, and that there is no reason why we should not rebel in a large way too. Understanding the selfish dynamics of both genes and memes offers a truly profound insight into ourselves. It highlights our potential for extraordinary, self-directed evolution, allowing us to consciously choose to cultivate pure, disinterested altruism, something that has no place in nature, something that has never existed before in the whole history of the world, transcending the programming of our biological and cultural inheritance. I hope you found today's video useful. It was indeed about a very basic concept, the meme, and how it relates to the gene. It gives some context for more evolutionary thinking, because now you have a bigger picture of the gene, but then you need to know how it interacts with the meme. This was, to me, this was probably the biggest highlight of this book. You just think about this topic a bit more, about meme and gene. Anyway, have fun and see you in the next video.